Hey there, traders. Welcome back to ForexPropFirm.com. I'm Valentine, your host for today's discussion. We have a special guest joining us for an exclusive interview. Get ready to gain insider knowledge, learn proven strategies, and discover the secrets to trading success. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into this insightful conversation with our guest trader. Get ready to take your trading to the next level. Let's turn our attention to our guest for today, Israel. Israel has a 25K funded account. Let's give a warm welcome to him and dive right in. Israel, please introduce yourself to our YouTube community.
Hi everybody, my name is Kuya Israel. I'm currently a student. I'm 19 years old in Nigeria, Ogun State.
Perfect. Israel, let's get a little bit into your background. How did you get started in trading?
Thank you very much for asking. Many people ask this question actually, but I feel like I started trading because I came to X about 6 months ago, and I started following some certain Forex traders, and they were like, Forex is easy and it's quick money. So I dived in rather. So I'm a student, I don't work, but I use my food money to fund my bro, like $10, sometimes $20, hoping to flip it on dollars. It's quite funny, but they actually do it. I don't know if it's fake. I heard it's fake, but I didn't know. So I kept blowing my accounts. So that's when I followed certain people that introduced me to prop firms. I did the same with prop firms. I tried to flip prop firm accounts. I've won over 15 prop firm accounts and I've blown several of them. I'm only funded with FPF.com 25K challenge. So I strategized this year, January, because I felt like this year is going to be my year. I shouldn't waste any more accounts. Instead, I should focus more on risk management and I shouldn't trade every time. So I learned, because as a student, my mind is brought to so many things. I watched ICT, SMC concepts, like I learned everything. Every video I saw about Forex on YouTube, I watched them all. But I shouldn't be doing that. I should just focus on one. Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course.
So now I'm just focused on trend lines. Trend lines are super easy, basic, and chart patterns. I love them so much. Last year, for the last 3 months of last year, that is October, November, and December, market was a little bit glitchy because it was the end of the year. So I lost most of my accounts. So now that it's a fresh new year, I think those patterns and trend lines work very well. So I take like one trade a week. On my demo, targeting minimum of 1:2 RR.
Okay.
And when I figured out it's still going to move in my direction, I just take my profits. I'm not being greedy this time because I know what I want to achieve. I've set my goals. Before I take my trade, I write them down in books. I write them down in books, and I make sure I set my targets and I write my goals before I take my trades without greed.
Damn, that sounds really inspirational. You sound like a really disciplined person. Great to hear. Definitely, because you're only 19 years old, I think that's definitely crazy, and you've achieved a lot, and you have come a long way, and there's a long way to go for you as well. So I think it's so important to only stick to one strategy, because when I started out, I was always going from this strategy to this one because I saw him doing like 10K on Instagram and this one here and blah blah blah. It's just noise. And what I noticed for myself is, as soon as I started to focus more on only my journey and myself and one strategy, my profitability became a lot greater, because it really doesn't matter what other people are doing. And if, let's say you, for example, let's say you're from a book of 10 chapters, you're at chapter 3. If I am at chapter 1, how can I look at your chapters and put it into perspective? Because it's a lot different. You've come from another way, you're raised in a different country, and whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
something is different every time for all of us. So it really doesn't matter what other people are doing. Just focus on your own stuff. And I think that you've learned that with 19 years old is great. That's really great. Really, really great.
I'm
Nice to hear
super
that.
excited.
Yeah, of course. And just, in my opinion, lay out your foundation, lay out your plan, your action steps, as you already told us, and go from there. Just tick it off. Just go one by one. Stick to everything you laid yourself out. And most importantly, stick to your risk management. Because in my opinion, this is one of the most important things everybody needs to put in perspective. Because risk is the most, how should I say it? It's the thing that all of us can control. Because let's put it into this perspective. You can't control the outcome of the trade. There are three outcomes of a possible trade, and that's either a winner, that's a break-even hit, or a loser. But you can't control them. These are just outcomes. The only thing that's inside your control is your risk management, because prior to the trade, everything is in your control. You control to put on a trade, and you control how much you're risking. So instead of focusing on the outcome, focus on what you can control. And that is, as I said, risk management and that you're trading. And it took me a long time to really understand that, because for myself, I always thought that if I'm going to take more trades, I'm going to be more profitable. But it's the other way around. I was becoming more profitable as soon as I was doing less trades, because the trades I was focused on were the highest probability that could ever be for me, So that's really important.
Yeah.
And you said you're only trading like one time per week. What pairs are you focusing on?
I only trade gold, XAU USD.
Nice. Okay, nice. And do you have specific days or sessions where you focus on, or are you just limiting yourself to one trade per week and that's it?
Okay, so I'm trying to get sessions. I've not really gotten sessions yet. I don't know the time. I don't know how time affects trade, but I'm still working on it.
Okay, nice. I think for gold, I would recommend you to maybe trade New York session, because the most volume will kick in for gold when the US is active, which is 6 a.m. GMT to 9 a.m. So these 3 hours, I think, in my opinion, would be the best to trade gold. I don't really have that much experience trading gold, because I'm only trading Euro USD, but I think that could fit best in your schedule.
And should I say something?
Yeah, just go.
Like 90% of my Euro USD, trading Euro USD using trend lines are correct. But something about gold, small move, you make profits or you are in loss. So I plan to learn to trade gold like throughout this year for a couple of months and see how far I go. But I know with Euro USD, I trade them perfectly using trend lines.
Yeah. Then, in my opinion, I would focus on Euro if you know that you're profitable there, and try to do the rest like on a demo account. Because if you know you're profitable on Euro, so why should you focus on gold, But I think it's a good thing to learn even more. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay, perfect.
Maybe I should take USD.
Yeah, but I think that's just up to you. It's personal. But in my opinion, gold moves too fast for me. It's too volatile for me. It's almost like trading crypto. I don't like that, because it's like you're in and out so fast. If you place your stop loss a little bit too tight, you're just out of the move, and then that's it. That's so crazy. That's too too fast for me.
I had to. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm like funded right on F, and I'm up like 7%. I had to, because I've never gotten a payout, I had to log out my FPF account from my MT5 because I don't want anything to happen to the current amount of payout. Do you get me?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I remember
Right.
myself always deleting my MetaTrader off my phone because I didn't want to give back profits that I already had. And I
Yeah.
think if you're
Yeah.
just starting out, it's a good way to go because you definitely need
Yeah.
to put something that is going to stop you from over trading. And as you said it, if you're
Yes.
going to do like, let's say you're doing one trade on Tuesday, right? You're only trading one time per week, as
Yeah.
you said, and that trade is profitable.
Yes.
It's one of the hardest things to close the charts and not even look at the charts because you want to
Yes.
do more, you want to gain more,
More.
and you want to make more money. And
Yes.
that is the hardest thing, in my opinion, to overcome because
Yes.
I am now at the point where I'm making profits on a Tuesday and I'm completely fine with closing the charts
Okay.
and not even trading. But I'm tape reading the rest of the week. But if I know that my probability won't be that high, I'm not going to take any more trades because I know that if I'm going to do one more trade, I'm going
Yeah.
to give away profits. And
Right.
one
Right.
one thing so bad is making profits early in the week and giving it
Yeah.
back on
And
a
losing them.
Thursday or a Friday. Man, that was frustrating because I had the whole weekend thinking about how could I give back this, and that was that is just not
Yeah.
worth it in my opinion. So if you're laying out the foundation, I am going to do a weekly outlook on the weekend. I'm going to lay out myself. I'm
Right.
going to say, okay, I'm going to trade on Tuesday or on Wednesday, one of these 2 days. I'm going to trade New York
Okay.
session. I am laying out how much I am going to risk, how
Right.
much I am going to make with that trade, how much my take profit reward ratio is. And if I'm not going to have a trade there, I'm just leaving the charts. I set myself out for Tuesday and Wednesday. If it's nothing there, I'm leaving it because I know when Euro USD is going to deliver. I know the exact times. I studied so much and I backtested so much that I know my edge so well that I
Right.
definitely don't have any fear of missing out because I know if the move happens, then it's going to happen inside the windows that I'm laying out for myself. And if it's not happening, then I'm completely fine with that. And I don't need to take a trade anymore. And in my beginning, I was focused so much on trading every day and put so much pressure on your mental capital. And in my opinion, it's
Yeah.
so important to leave your mental capital for these days that are going to deliver, that are really high probability. Because
Right.
if you're not doing that, you won't be burned out by the day. It's high probability, and you're not really focused on really good trading. Because if you're in drawdown, or let's say you're -2 for the week,
Yeah.
your mind is definitely in not, I am going to say it's not in the right
You,
place to make
yeah. You
profits.
are not calm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one of the most important things because in my opinion, the strategy really doesn't matter. You're trading trend lines, I'm an ICT trader, and that really doesn't matter because I see students all over the world being profitable with I don't know what. It's that really doesn't matter as
Strategy.
long as your mind is in the right place, you're going to be profitable
Right.
because that is everything that matters, you know? Okay, now let's go a little bit more about your strategy. You said you're trading trend lines. What time frame are you most of the times using for your analysis?
All right. For trend lines, I first of all check the 4 hours time frame, check the overall order flow. Then I go to 1 hour to check if it's still going that way. Then I check the 5 minutes time frame to get the right entry because there are sometimes you won't get the right entry in 1 hour time frame or even 30 minutes time frame.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look further into a little, maybe 5 or 15 minutes time frame, you'll get it. So that's how I do it.
Yeah. Okay, nice. That's a good strategy. And how do you approach risk management? What is the typical risk that you're using?
All right. On my 25K account, I only risk 0.9 or 0.7 thereabout, maximum 1%, because I only take one trade per week. So I try to maximize whatever profit or loss I might make.
Yeah, of course. I think that's more than enough. Do you have any system in place that you're maybe reducing your risk when you're in drawdown or stuff like that? Or are you just focusing on that 0.7 or 0.9%?
Okay, yeah, when I'm in drawdown, I reduce my risk. But when I'm back up the exact amount of the account, I go back to my normal risk management.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good because it's really important to get something in place when you're in drawdown because I think
Yeah,
most of the people are tilting when they are on a drawdown or in a drawdown, and it's even harder for yourself to get out of it. And if you're decreasing your risk when you're in drawdown, you put a little bit pressure off yourself and focus a little
yeah,
bit more on getting out of the drawdown first. So that's
right.
good. Okay, perfect. What are some key lessons that you've learned along your trading journey?
I've learned a lot, but one very key important lesson is never to trade impulsively,
Yeah.
because most of the time I have losing trades like back to back, like 3 trades in a row, and they are all losses. I try to calm down because the next one I lost, okay, for example, I lost a 50K account last year, December. I was funded already. But
Mhm.
because I wanted to get something for Christmas and it was meals time, I rushed into the trade. I traded impulsively and I lost I lost a couple of dollars,
Mhm.
$1,000 actually, because I used big lots and
Yeah.
the spread at that moment. So the FOMO, FOMO, fear of
Yeah, of
missing
course.
out. I traded in again, and that was how I blew the account, because I traded impulsively. I
Mhm.
couldn't calm down. I wanted to get something for Christmas for my friends and families, and I just blew the account. So one key important lesson is never trade impulsively.
Yeah, I think for all of us on our journey to becoming profitable, there are so much things to learn because, in my opinion, the market really reflects who you are on your inside and who you are as a person. Because if you're impulsively in your outer world, in your real life, you're going to be
Yeah,
impulsively on the charts as well. And
right,
one of my mentors told me to focus on everything else, but not the charts, to get my life really in check, to go to the gym, to eat healthy, to read books and
right,
stuff like that. And when I
right,
first started out, I really didn't understand what he meant by that. But as the time went on, I really understood that this does for you is that you're not only focusing only on the charts and your market analysis, but you're
right,
focusing on the outside and on everything else because everything else matters more than charts. And when I first
right.
started out, I was always just watching charts every day, like
Yeah,
5, 6 hours every day. And that drove me crazy. And as I said, now I'm doing, let's say, 2 or 3 effective trading hours per week. And the rest is really just tape reading and journaling and stuff like that. And
right.
my mental capital is and my mental space is so good because I'm
So
focusing on everything else. Yeah, I'm just completely fine with everything that goes on in my life. And that is what really comes down for me to focus on everything else
right,
prior to focusing only on the charts, in my opinion. So that's really important here as well. And as you said, there are so many lessons you're going to learn on your journey. And I think the
right,
most important thing there is to really go into these lessons you've learned. I'm always taking my journal with me, and when I have
right,
experiences like that, I'm really going deep into them. I'm really asking myself questions about, let's say, if I over leveraged and I lost. I really take my time to journal that experience, to journal what I felt during the trade, what was the outcome, and all of that. Because by doing that, you're learning more than anything else about yourself first. Because as I said, you're the complete reflection of the markets. And if you learn who you really are, you're going to be doing totally great on the charts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So important. Okay. What are some of your most significant trading successes?
Okay, I was in drawdown of about, okay, the maximum drawdown for that account at the time was 10%.
Mhm.
And I was in drawdown 9.6%. So, like I said earlier, if I'm in drawdown, I use small lots. So I used, and it was news that day. So I used a very small lot, but that small lot capitalized. I entered the trade immediately and it just came out of drawdown. I was so happy. I
Yeah.
was so glad.
Yeah. I think that must have been a great feeling, right?
It was so great.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think what really is important, that you said yourself that you're using small lots, and
Yeah.
you've got yourself out of drawdown using small lots as well. So the important
Yeah.
thing here is, let's say if you would have over leveraged on the trade, the feeling
Right.
that you had by coming out of drawdown would definitely not be that great that it has been now for you, that you're only using the small lots.
Small
Because
lots.
a win that really isn't not by trading your system, that was more by just getting lucky, is not a really good win,
Right.
in my opinion. And always when I'm journaling, I'm thinking about, was it a good win or was it not a good win? And not a good win would be if I just, let's say, I used too high of risk or stuff like that. I really didn't follow the plan. And
Yeah.
if you learn to put these things out and to really minimize trades like that, the long term is going to be a lot better by doing that. And as you said, you just use small lots and you've got yourself out of drawdown. And I think the feeling is just amazing, right?
Amazing. So amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Okay. What are your future goals and aspirations as a trader?
Right. I have a couple of friends who are only 4 currently in my state where I stay, where we're only Forex traders. We're the only 4 Forex traders that I'm aware of. The rest are just into the basic things, like they just go to school. I'm also a student, but they are not open to Forex, to Web3 and other spaces. So my long-term goal is to get payouts, lots of payouts, and probably start small, just taking a few of them and enrolling them into Forex, teaching them the little, and by that time I know I'll be professional. So I plan to just teach as much people as I can, and probably get them funded with a little accounts, and we'll just see how it goes then.
Yeah, that's a great plan. Really good.
Right.
Nice. Okay. Is there anything you want to add at the end of the interview?
Just little advice. Currently in Nigeria, the rate to Naira is just mind-blowing. So my advice to traders out there is never trade impulsively. And something happened to me where I had, because I engage in a lot of people posts on Twitter to win prop firms. So I got a couple of accounts. I got like 3 at a time. So because I had 3 and they weren't bought with my money, I mismanaged the whole lot of them. So what our advice to people is, never trade like that. When you're up in a couple percent on one account, just leave it and move to the next one. Don't be like, because I'm up in one account, let me just gamble on one account. Or something like trading a buy on one account and trading a sell on one account. That's gambling. Just stick to your strategy and don't listen to whatever any Forex traders or anybody says. Just be you, and it's you versus you. That's it.
Great. Okay, awesome. And that's a wrap for today's interview. I hope you found our discussion insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to
Thank you.
subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content on the ForexPropFirm.com YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us today, Israel. Until next time, happy trading.